Hey besties! Today we're doing a get ready with me. Today's makeup is inspired by Ariana Grande and her Positions video. I'm doing one of the makeup looks. There were a lot. I feel like she has single-handedly brought back this type of makeup. I would never do this makeup myself, but Ariana Grande did it, so I'm like, I gotta do it. So let's just get started. I'm gonna put this little zebra headband thing on. Now we can get started. I'm gonna be starting with the Puff Puff primer. This is from e.l.f. I really like this primer. It's just like the travel size that you get when you buy the little kit thingy. I use about that much and I just put it all over my face. Honestly, don't even ask me what this primer does because I couldn't tell you. I'm gonna be doing my brows next because I'm gonna do my eyeshadow before I do my face makeup. So I'm gonna do my eyebrows so I can do my eye makeup. Does that make sense? For my brows, I just start by brushing them with a spoolie and I just brush them all up. I'm gonna be using the BH Cosmetics Ultimate Brow Palette. I mostly use the second color in the top row and then sometimes I'll mix it with the third color if I need to darken up any spaces. And then I just fill in mostly underneath my brows because that's where it's the sparsest. And then after I draw that line, I just take the brush up and I kind of use it like I place the brush and then I just drag it up. Next, I'm going to clean up underneath my brows using the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Concealer. I use like this kind of brush. It's just like a flat synthetic brush and I use that to line underneath my brows. And then whatever concealer I have on the back of my hand, I use as an eye primer. So I just put that all over my eyes. To set the concealer on my eyes, I just use the Maybelline Fit Me Powder in Fair. And now we can start on eyeshadow. For the eyeshadow, you're just gonna need a neutral brown palette. I'm using this one from Vizart. I also think like the Jaclyn Hill palette would be good, or like just any neutral palette will work. Like it doesn't have to be specific, just like you need some brown colors. This is one of the more simpler looks. It's more subtle with the second wing. I'm not a big like second wing wearer. I usually just stick to my eyeliner and that's good. But I literally was obsessed with this look when I saw it. I'm gonna start by taking the lightest color in the palette and just placing that all over my lid. And just like all the way up to my brow bone, just like so it's a complete light wash of color. I'm using this small rounded brush to do the transition shade so that way it can stay where I want it to be because we're gonna start shaping out the eye shape that she has. I'm just gonna take this first color in the palette. On your eye right here, you can see I have this slight shadow. It's not exactly like where my crease is. My crease is down more. So I'm doing it kind of a little bit above my crease and I'm just following that line. So when I apply it, I'm really like sculpting that eyelid. And then when you get to the end, you just keep following that bone and just flick it up. I'm gonna start adding definition to the wing part and I'm gonna be using just this flat brush. I'm just gonna be using like a cool brown color. I'm gonna be sculpting out the wing, so putting it on top of the transition shade, and this is most likely gonna be the darkest shade we use. We'll probably darken it up a little bit more. You're basically just placing this color so you can blend it out. So I'm just lightly brushing it as I get towards the center so it's a more blended effect. I'm gonna start blending this out. I'm gonna be using this rounded pencil brush to just go right in that area. I'm gonna be taking the last color from the second row to just marry the transition shade with this color. You want to focus the bulk of your color in this area. You don't want to bring it all the way out here because we want this wing to kind of fade out. So as I get to the wing, I'm sort of flicking it out when I blend so it keeps that wing shape and it doesn't get too dark. And you're basically just blending this until you like how it looks. Now taking that flat brush again, I'm gonna go in with those two shades we used to darken this back up. And then I'm gonna take the transition shade again and just blend it one last time to make sure everything looks seamless. Then I'm taking this big fluffy brush that I used to pack on that white color and I'm just gonna blend out. This is just gonna ensure that there's no harsh lines going up to your brows, you know? Remember to blend, bestie. Never forget. Using that same concealer from earlier, I'm going to be cleaning up the wing that I made so it's a little more clean cut. And I'm mostly just cleaning it up on the outer edge. Because I'm feeling lazy, I'm going to be using tape to do the eyeliner. You can also just sketch out eyeliner, but I feel like this is the easier way, and why not just use the easier way? Smarter, not harder, best friends. And you want to line the tape up with like the angle that this wing is going in. So you want it to like the wing to flow into that wing, if that makes sense. To start the eyeliner, I'm going to be using a denser flat brush and I'm going to be going in with black to create the first line. She doesn't have much of a wing, but there is a slight wing there. So I'm just making a baby wing from like the middle point of my eye and just extending it out to the tape. And it's not going up too high either. It's a very subtle wing. I'm going to blend that using the last color in the second row from this palette. I'm gonna touch up the black just a little bit where it disappeared, and now I'm gonna take the tape off. And there you have it. Next, I'm going to be curling my eyelashes and then applying mascara using the Telescopic Carbon Black from L'Oreal. Now, I don't know what eyelashes I'm using, but you can get this look just by taking any pair of eyelashes and cutting them in half and then only placing them on your outer corner. That's what I do with basically every single lash, so I can get the nice and fox eye, is that what people call it now? Fox eye effect. My mirror will be in the frame for this shot. I apologize, but I gotta do it for the lashes. And then because these lashes like to slouch down, I don't know if they're doing it yet, but I like to take my tweezers and just squeeze my lashes with my false lashes, if that makes sense. This is what they look like. To start with the face, I'm going to be using Ulta Beauty's Youthful Glow Foundation Serum Drops. I got this because it was on sale and I've been looking for like a dupe of the Kosas tinted oil because I do not have the kind of money to be buying the Kosas tinted oil, but I really want it. And I've been using the Pixi H2O water tint, but this was on sale for like, I think like $8 or something. So I was like, let me try it because I had an Ulta gift card from Christmas and I really like it. I love how it looks on the skin. It's a little annoying to apply because it is super oily because it is a serum foundation. But once I blend it in with the sponge, it looks perfect. I just can't blend it in with my fingers like how I could with the Pixi H2O water tint. That's the only difference, but this one is much cheaper than that one, so. And I'm gonna use a sponge anyways, so no harm, no foul. Also, make sure you shake it. Make sure you shake it because I made that mistake the first time. And then I like to put it on the back of my hand. You also don't need that much. I used like this much and this will probably work for my entire face. And I just like to place it all around before I start blending it. And then I start blending it with my fingers just so like the product is thoroughly spread around. And I try to keep it away from my under eyes. It'll create creases underneath my eyes because it is such an oily serum based concealer foundation. Now I'm going to be going in with this beauty sponge and just blending all of this in. I like using two different concealers for different parts of my face. To start, for like covering up any pimpies I have, I use the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in Light Peach, and I just place that over any imperfections that I want to conceal. And then I'm just going to blend that out with a beauty blender. And then I like to use the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Concealer in the shade C1 to put under my eyes and then anywhere I want to highlight. And you have to blend this one out sort of quickly because it dries very fast. I'm going to be using that same Fit Me powder just to set underneath my eyes, and then anywhere I applied concealer over those blemishes, I like to apply powder by pressing it in with my sponge. And then I'm also going to apply some on my forehead because that's really the only place I get a little oily. Next, I'm going to be cream contouring a little bit using the Fit Me stick from Maybelline. This is in the shade Coconut, and I'm just going to be applying that to my cheekbones. I just do like a little line right here. And when I blend this out, I make sure to work it up and not down. I'm also going to be applying a little bit down my nose. I'm going to be using this brush I got from one of the Naked palettes I got a long time ago. So I just do two lines like this just because this is the area where the contour will kind of just disappear. So I like to apply it there so that way there's more to work with and it won't just disappear off my face. Okay, and now we move on to powder contour. I'm going to be using this NYX 3 Steps to Sculpt contouring palette in Fair. Mine is a mess because I use it so much and it's not very pretty. I'm going to be using an angled brush from Morphe. This is the E4, and I'm just going to be like going over again where I placed that cream. And then I like bringing my contour up into my hairline up here. It looks crazy right now, but we'll blend it. And then taking a beauty blender, I'm just going to start blending that. To contour my nose, I like using this angled shadow brush and just using that same shade. I like to start by just doing the two lines, and then I start adding the details of my nose. Where my natural contours of my nose are, I just like defining those more. And then I blend that with my sponge once again. I like to blend up like this so that way the darkness stays towards the center of my nose and it doesn't venture out to giving me a bigger nose. I actually started contouring my jawline like this because of Ariana Grande, because I have a very square jaw. When I contour, I like to bring it right here as well, so that way it kind of minimizes my jawline. And then I just blend it down. And to apply bronzer, I'm just using this big fluffy brush from Morphe. It's the M527. And I'm going to be using the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. This is the light version. And I'm going to start with my forehead because I don't contour my forehead just because I don't really need it. My forehead's kind of big, but like I feel like bronzer makes it look how I like it to look. I don't know. And then I just slightly wash over that contour I did. This is really just to bring more color into my face. And then I'm just going to put it over my nose a little bit. Next, I like applying highlight. For today, I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty highlighter in Hustla Baby. I still only have the small version and it's literally crumbled into pieces. Can you see that? But I refuse to give it up because it's the prettiest highlighter ever and I really just need to buy a new one. But they also don't come single. Like it comes with another one and I don't like the other one. I only like this one. And I had gotten this during Christmas. Like there was like a Christmas sale and so they were selling like the mini versions of it. So I got it because I was like, oh my god, it's so pretty and I don't want the other color. I just want this color. Like it's perfect. But then I dropped it. And Fenty Beauty highlighters are almost as breakable as Becca highlighters. They're like so creamy and nice. God, it's my favorite highlighter ever. I like using a small eyeshadow brush to apply highlight to my nose just because I think it makes it look more intense and you have more control over it. I love applying highlight here. I don't know why, but it's just my favorite place to highlight. Next is blush. I like using this one from Amuse. It's in Satin Sheets. I got this from Shop Miss A and it's literally like the prettiest blush I've ever used. And I used the Morphe M509 to apply that. And I like to keep my blush kind of higher up where you would apply highlight almost. So I feel like it just helps lift the face. And then I just go over my nose just a little bit, just a little. I can't help it. Next, I like to go in with rose water. This one is from Ulta Beauty and I just spray this all over my face. I have dry skin, so I find that this makes all the difference. I feel like when I don't apply rose water or any type of setting spray, it ruins the look. I feel like my skin doesn't look as good as it could. I feel like this really melts everything together and makes you look gluey and gluey. I feel like it makes you look really glowy and dewy and I really like it. I always am using either rose water or setting spray. Underneath her eyes isn't very dark, but there is some color in her waterline. So I'm going to be using a dark brown color and I'm going to just apply that on my lower lash line, sort of in my waterline. And she has it all the way into her inner corner. I'm also going to add it onto the top inner corner. After I apply it into the waterline, I'm just going to start buffing it out on the outer edge. Great, now my eyes are watering. Now I'm just going to apply the same mascara from earlier just to the outer corner of my eyes, just like that. Does anybody else hate this mascara because it's so hard to get back into the tube? Do you see this? Got it. For lips, I'm going to be taking a mix of the Morphe lip liner in Backseat Love and the Rimmel lip liner in Innocent. And I'm just going to be applying both of those to my lips because I don't really have the exact color she has. This isn't even the exact color she has. I don't really have many cool toned lipsticks. When I line my lips, I like to overline them and then bring the color in slightly. But usually I keep the middle of my bottom lip like completely free and open just to give it a more poutier look. Ariana doesn't have that much lip gloss on in that pic. I honestly think she... Why did I say pic? In that picture, I honestly think she just has lipstick on, but I'm sorry, Ari, I'm not that kind of girl. So I'm gonna be using the NYX Butter Gloss in Fortune Cookie and the Rimmel Stay Glossy Lip Gloss in Nonstop Glamour. So I'm just applying that NYX gloss all over, and then I'm using the Rimmel one just in the center of my lips. And those are the lips. The last step I do is I set my brows using the NYX Tinted Brow Mascara in Brunette, and I just brush this all over my eyebrows. And this is what I use as brow gel basically to just keep my eyebrows in place. Okay, so I'm gonna do my hair and then I'll be right back to show you guys the finished look. And this is the finished look. I was gonna put on like a headband, you know, be super Ariana Positions inspired, but I hated how it looked on me and I can't be bothered, so now it's in a messy bun. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up or whatever, subscribe, you know, all of that. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye, besties.